Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another top-level ranked cast. We have decided to continue our spree of not only just finding the best games we can, but also looking on Rivals meta and finding the highest ranked players for a specific character, or the player with the highest win rated, like Grandmaster or Celestia on a certain character, and following them. And at a request, I have decided to bring you all your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Reminder that you can leave a request for characters, for players, for anything like that in the comments below. Now, some of them I won't be able to do if it's a player in particular, because some players hide their replays, and I want to respect that. I'm only going to get them, obviously, if they're in a replay I happen to be casting. I can't avoid everyone who hides their replays, because then I wouldn't have any games at all. That is simply just how it would be. And then there would be no content. Unlucky. But you can still send your requests, and I'll try and fulfill as many as I can. And of course, once we hit 5,000 subs, I'm recording this on the 18th, so I've recorded like 4 in one day here. At the time of me recording, because I'm going away on the weekend, we are on 4,944, meaning we're 56 away. Meaning if we got like, maths is hard, if we got like 18, 17 or so each day that I'm away, I could come back to 5,000 subs, in which case I will be streaming it on Twitch and potentially sometimes on YouTube as well, links to which are in the description, so you can jump on as well, and I'll be doing viewer replays on there especially. So I'm looking for replay IDs from your games that I can cover and attempt to entertain. So consider doing that. But for now, we have a Spider-Man game to cast with our #1 Spider-Man player according to Rivals meta. Should be interesting. We don't see, obviously, too many Spider people. We obviously have Necros on Twitch, etc. And from Shmungus, who have done some pretty solid performances, top 32 and then I believe top 64 in the recent tournaments. But this is, according to Rivals meta, the player with the best Spider-Man. If we have a look at some percentages here, they have a 75 win rate on Spider-Man. The next highest one behind them, 73%. Our player is going to be not Alex, Raziel, as they are attempting to argue over who gets the spider. As we're heading on in, we're heading to Midtown for a convoy map. How appropriate. Spider-Man is heading back to New York. If you're enjoying the videos, consider liking, commenting, and of course, as we said, subscribing and ringing that notification bell. We'll be covering just general rank stuff until Season 2 begins, where we'll be covering MRC, and I'm currently working on some in-between content as well. So make sure to subscribe, help me fight the algorithm, it's hard to fight robots. We're going to see the Human Torch getting banned away, as well as Iron Fist. Iron Fist has massively jumped up in priority in the recent seasons. We've got a couple members up from Shmungus, in fact, here. Is Raziel just a smurf for Necros? I don't know. We'll have to... If someone knows, let me know in the comments, because they're in a game with Bogor and kayjii. Maybe that's coincidence. I am not familiar. But for now, we're heading on in. We've also got Olegatoor, player from LG. Very strong lobby here. And we have Nzo, who I believe used to be a player from OG. Although with INT at the beginning of their name now. What could this mean? Curiouser and curiouser. So, let's introduce our players. According to Rivals meta, the #1 Spider-Man in the world, it is Raziel. And on the rest of the blue team, we have kayjii, a player from Shmungus, Bogor 2. Assuming these aren't just people who have stolen names. I've learnt my lesson from Tim the Tapman. We have them on the Venom. LFT, Crazykitty on the Psylocke. INT Nzo will be playing the Emma Frost. And Alex, just Alex, they are going to be playing the Invisible Woman. And on the right, in the red trunks, it is LG's Olegatoor, Luminosity Gaming, playing that Namor. fatdumbugly is going to be playing the Loki. What a name. Saintamoto is on the Emma Frost. Seijuro, or Seijuro, I'm going to assume Seijuro. They're going to be playing the Lunar Snows. Psycho is on the Psylocke. And ZDG, or ZDG, will be playing the Incredible Hulk. Raziel already coming in. They've got that Venom team up. So trying to get into the backline. No one going down as of yet. Finds Psylocke. The quick clone using the Ember Frost team up to split up and try and cause a little bit of a distraction here. Raziel in and out, taking a little bit of damage from this Nemord. Good pickup, taking out kayjii and Alex. Both the strategists going down to olegatoor and Psycho. Raziel retreating all the way into the spawn point here to heal up, wait for their team to respawn so they can go back in together. Bogor helping lead the line. Onto the point to hold it, just shy of point number 1 here. Taking a lot of damage from that radioactive team up from that Namor squid here. The Monstro, a little bit too much to deal with here. Enzo trying to protect the team with that Magneto. The team up from the symbiotic armor, not enough here. Saintamoto trying to push on in, trying to clean out the remainder of the defenders, locking down Bogor, but in comes krazykitty with the Dance of the Butterfly to try and push back these attackers one more time. Gets one more, but is getting focused down. Hulk smash to buy extra time to hold the point here. Fate of both worlds, trying to push back Raziel. Not enough for the lockdown here. But they are going to be forced off the point here. Pulled back in by Raziel here. Going to force them back into that regular Hulk form as the ultimate expires. Looks to try and pull him in. But going for the aerials here. Onto Psycho. And that is a beautiful 1v1. Raziel gets the pickup. Olegatoor is going to be the key character here. These Monstros, they need to be positioned well to help deal with that Spider-Man. And of course, that Aquatic Blessing to buy a little bit of time. Placing the squid outside. Trying to lure Raziel out. Gamma Monstro up on the high ground. Helps deal with these flyers, with Raziel. And with Bogor. Enzo gets taken down, dropped. But will get brought back at the BRB. That's a psionic seduction. A 4-man psionic seduction. While the backline battle is happening here, Moto is cleaning up here, holding the line, forcing the reinforcements to come in for the blue team. The zoning is good, but Moto basically single-handedly turns that round. Spectacular Spin comes out, takes out fatdumbugly, but Raziel goes down to Psycho. See ya! That was a statement, not an ability name. Raziel making their way back to the point here. Psycho trying to do a little bit of damage, create a little bit of zoning. ZGG also here for an extra pickup. I'm just going to keep pronouncing it differently so that I annoy everyone equally. ZGG pushing in. Indestructible Guard will back up. Raziel into the backline, trying to get onto the Lunar Snow, but Regeneration Domain will shut that down. They're forced to back away. Olegatoor, Gamma Monstro for the zoning here, getting targeted down, focused, lots of damage coming out. Psycho takes out Alex on the side here. fatdumbugly with the fate of both worlds, keeping the team topped up and healing up Olegatoor as Raziel tried to go for a quick pickup here. Focus onto the Hulk, shut down by the transformation. Hulk smash, and they are getting zoned here. Psycho gets the pickup. Bogor taken down by seijuro. And ZDG is going to get focused down here, but a little bit too far. Bogor and Raziel swinging out at the same time, trying to reach the point here. In the meanwhile, Enzo is on the flank, holding the line for the moment here. Dance of the Butterfly has to be used, trying to get up to Raziel, realizing they were getting absolutely spider double teamed, but it's not enough. Raziel picks up the elimination. On the defense, here comes the psionic seduction from Saintamoto. Seijuro with the fade of both worlds keeps Olegatoor on the board here. Meaning Raziel isn't going to be able to do much unless he can pull someone out of it here. Putting a little bit of focus onto the Lunar Snow there. krazykitty goes down. Alex with the clone onto the fate of both worlds so that they have their own in here. Raziel takes down Olegatoor, meaning they do not have that backline defense anymore. And Raziel is piling on the pressure here into the backline. Looking for seijuro. And spectacular spin to guarantee the pickup. Will get stunned down by the Hulk, but they got the target. Taking down one strategist, gets a map heal. Looking for the other. Where's the real Loki? Finds him! Big pickup! And able to retreat back before taking too much damage from the Gamma Monstro. Olegatoor is doing the best they can, but they're starting to get outnumbered. Their teammates are getting picked off one by one here. They're being a huge saving grace for their team right now. Everyone on red team is performing admirably, but it's just the power of this Spider-Man Venom combo. Make it very difficult to avoid. The pickup is beautiful. Psycho goes down. Olegatoor is falling. Fate of both worlds is dropped, but that's just going to force the retreat out of the blue team while they await for these ultimates to expire, pulling them out of the Fate of both worlds. Quick move in there by fatdumbugly to make sure that they're in position. The Fate of both worlds is going to expire, allowing the activation of the Dance of the Butterfly from Crazykitty. Seijuro chains theirs together to try and buy some time. Saintamoto, Meteor M, meaning there's no one to protect them. They go down. Hulk smash to try and push on it, to try and keep this going and to hold the overtime. It's going to get stunned down, focused down, dropping into banner. And with the board getting cleaned up, who is left to hold this? Portal comes in just in time. They're going to try and delay this. Spectacular spin to try and clean this up. Feast from the Abyss. Dance of the Butterfly to try and buy some time. Saintamoto on this Captain America is buying as much time as they can, staying mobile on and off the point, but locked down. C-Scene picked off. And the score is 1 point, 124 meters and 39 centimeters. Beautifully done by blue team. Now can they match it as they push on in? Red team, how are they adjusting for defense? Looks like Saintamoto gonna continue abandoning this Emma Frost and is gonna stick with Captain America. Looks like the plan may just be run it in as hard as you can. They can't exit the spawn if they're just gonna get bullied. Widow's being hovered here. Magic. Aggro may be the name of the game. On the other side, though, we are seeing a little bit of a mix-up. We'll see how many of these make it out the door as Enzo currently looking at the Wolverine and Alex, Captain America. Let's see if these make it out the door. This would make it a solo Venom Vanguard composition. But with Fantastic and Wolverine, this is the duo that we will sometimes see when teams are running solo Vanguard. So it's not out the question that we do see this leave the base. The hyper-aggression. The run at the enemy team front line of the red team. They abandon Loki as well. Bringing out the rocket. A little bit of extra protection. Raziel stunned out immediately here. And looks like we do mix it up. We do stick with what we were running before with a little bit of a mix-up here. Enzo onto that Magneto and Alex on Loki. So got already deep in the backline here. Gamma Monstro taking a lot of damage, a lot of health off of Bogor here. Raziel gets picked off by Olegatoor. In the meantime, Saintamoto on the point for the moment, but trying to just push on in. Try to zone away any flanks, try and keep this cart from moving. Big damage here, not diving in until it's really necessary. Onto Alex, found the real one. We're going to back out the second that swamp comes in. Raziel's in the backline, takes out Olegatoor, but goes down to Psycho. CDG, sorry. Onto that Incredible Hulk, but being forced to back away. This push, it's slow, but it's working. They're finding individual picks. When the front line dives and the back line kind of doesn't, we're starting to see a little bit of a mismatch here. As red team aren't able to hold the positions. They're getting picked off one by one, isolated by this front line. The Spider-Man Venom combo with Crazykitty helping out on this Psylocke, dropping massive damage here. Pushing on in, taking out the Monstros. Making their way in. Raziel wiped off the board there. Saintamoto trying to buy a little bit of time here. Trying to duel the Venom, has good damage output. Staying mobile, staying moving. Crazykitty down, Alex is down, and finally we're seeing a counter engage by the red team. Starting to push on back, starting to hold the line. Dive into the back line by Bogor. Still holding though. Here comes the freedom charge. Saintamoto assembling the Avengers to try and push on in. Takes out crazykitty again. And we're starting to see a little bit of staggering from the red team where they're zoning back blue. Alex, that was the real one. Taken down. Tried to play the deception game. Did get found out. Saintamoto able to back away here. Shield up, using the cart for cover. It's a big cart on this map, gives you a lot of protection. Here comes a spectacular spin from Raziel. Finds only fatdumbugly, but is still going. Takes out seijuro. And Dance of the Butterfly in the backline for a little bit of counter engagement. They are healing up, barely getting out of there. Crazykitty sustains through, standing in between all the Lokis. ZDG is going to get focused down here, very isolated. Media M, that feels like overkill, but you know what? Who am I to judge? Raziel retreats to the rest of the team. They've got the zone going. Finish line is right ahead. The Seer comes out. Dance of the Butterfly cleaning through here, using the Dance of the Butterfly to clean out the Seer, remove the rest of that sustain as Cap is deep in there trying to get to the point. Map heal, wrap around. They got a touch 3 meters, 2 meters, 90 centimeters. Second map heal. Trusted their team to hold the point, but they weren't able to do so. That's going to be the 2-1 in favor of blue side. And they are going to close this out. MVP goes over to crazykitty here. "27 eliminations. Top in the game. And top final hits with 13, but just behind them, 20 eliminations, 13 final hits for Raziel. Least amount of times getting eliminated in the game is Boga, with 3 times getting taken out. So much sustained, absorbing 32k damage, only 900 less than ZDG. Very nicely done. Top damage. You can see Raziel quite low on the damage because it's always efficient. It's always either an elimination or not. There's not really any poke you can do with Spider-Man. There's a little bit of engage and disengage, but not enough to pad damage numbers. So the top damage numbers will go over to Saintamoto, to crazykitty, to Nzo. A lot of damage spread out across the teams here, in fact. Olegatoor, 19k as well, same with Psycho. Teams really spreading out their damage numbers here. Very even across the board. Same with damage absorbed. These teams very close in terms of stat. 32k damage blocked is the highest for both teams once again, but again, 900 ahead. Barely sniping it. ZDG, but they did get taken out 2 times more than Bogor on that Venom. Very cool to see. Top healing, though, is where we start to see a difference here. 24k and 24k for fatdumbugly and seijuro. We see 28k and 32k for Alex and kayjii. They will top out the numbers for their team. But that is the rank 1 Spider-Man getting that Venom team up. They only got taken out 6 times. They were just helping. They engaged. They followed the tank's lead, allowing Bogor to do the engages, and then Raziel usually following up, but Raziel was still on the flank finding targets when they needed to. Very effective, very efficient, and that is why we like to watch these #1 players in their certain roles. So make sure to remember to leave your request of a character you'd like to see and or just a player you'd like to see me cover some of their gameplay of. For now, though, I hope you've all enjoyed today's cast. Reminder to like, comment, subscribe, become a member like the wonderful Roshula, Doki Poki, or perhaps you can become like our longest running member, John, to help support the channel. And make sure to stay subscribed so you can see me cover MRC when that comes around again. We will continue to release a video a day for as long as I am able. So far, I have missed 1 day, maybe 2, maybe 3 in the last, what month are we on? 4 months? In the last 4 months. Vacations aren't really for me. I just pre-record a load of stuff and then I take my vacations. Although, I am having a vacation at the beginning of May. So I will there will be another mass upload of videos during that time period. So if you want to become a member, right at the end of April, beginning of May is the best time to do it because you'll get like 5 to 6 videos early. Because I will be pre-recording to make sure that I do not have to worry about uploading and recording when I get home. So there'll be a lot of stuff available for members first. That's the efficient time. Also, if you want to do it now, though, it will help me pay for the vacation. I used a lot of air miles from back when I was doing Heroes of the Storm to do this. That's the only way I can afford to do this because, like I said, YouTube does not pay a lot of money, which is why it's very appreciated when you watch with YouTube Premium without ad block on, or become a member, or send a super thanks to help out the channel. For now, thank you all very much for watching. I have been your caster, Tetcher. Make sure to check me out on my socials in the description below, and I will see you all tomorrow.